Hi, I'm Prashant Nandam, and today we'll be starting our session 4 in our Linux most used command series. And session 4 is of completely related to users and permissions management. I prepared notes for the same in Git repo, and today we will be covering what is user management and the most commands which you used, such as creating user, deleting a user, and changing permissions of that user, and adding the user to group. And similarly, we will also see how to create a group, and we will see uh, what are the permissions that we have in the group, and what permissions we can change to the user and the folder and all those things. Let's start. I'm in my root directory, and we'll start with creating a user. And if you see ls, I have only rocky user. Now I'll be creating a user. To do that, I need to use user add. Since I'm in root, I'm not using sudo. If you are not root user, you need to use sudo root. I'm in root, then user add, and I'm using satya. Cool. Now if you do ls, there is a user with name satya. Okay. Now I want to, if you see here, we have given only username, but we haven't provided any password for the user. Now to provide the password or to change any existing password of the user, we need to be in the root user, and we need to have this password and then username. It will ask for new password and provide the password. Done. Now we are with the user Satya. Now what we need to do, and now we'll see whether the user is created or not. For that, we can use wd and pipe. The symbol is called pipe, and then username. What our username? Satya. Where it means I didn't provide it on pa cat etc pa. I didn't provide a grep. Grep is used to get this user details. It will search and fetch the user. Yeah, if you see here, we have Satya user under home directory and bin bash. Now what we have seen how to create a user, how to set password to the user, how to verify the user details. Now we'll see how to delete a user along with the directory. I mean, if you see, this Satya folder is completely for uh, Satya user. Now I'll create a one file here, touch sample.txt, and if I do ls-l, I have this sample.txt. Now what I'll do, I'll go to Satya folder, and then this is Satya directory. cd home, and then Satya. I'm in Satya directory. Now if I do ls, I don't see any, because this sample.txt is created under root, and these have only read write read permission, so I can't see anything. Now if I want to create anything, touch world.txt and do ls, it can be seen here, world.txt. Okay, and now again I'll exit pwd satya ls-l home. See, world.txt I can see here. Now if I switch back to my previous one, which is home, and do ls-l, I can't see that file here. Why? Because I created under Satya. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll delete the folder. I'll delete the Satya user along with their directory. To do that, I'm in sudo, so I'm not going to use any sudo command. userdel -r and then the username. If you do ls, it will be completely deleted. This is how we'll delete. Now I'll show you one more thing. Now we have seen how to delete a user, and we'll now what we'll do, we'll create a group, we'll add the user to the group, and then we'll try how to, we'll verify if the user is under that group or not. Then we'll remove the group from that user. To do that, first we need to create a group add, and then the group name. What will create group name? Testing group. Now group has been created. To verify group, you can do cat etc and group group and the below testing group. It has been created. That is what we created, correct? Testing group, yes. Testing group is now created. Okay. Now what we did, we created a group. We have verified the group is created. Now we'll create a user and we'll add that user to the group. What we need to do to create a user? User add and testing user. Cool. I have created a testing user. Now what I'll do, I'll add this testing user to a group. To do that, we need to use user mod -a and g add group. And what our group name? Testing group is our group name, space. What is our username? Testing user, and click enter. Now the user has been added to that group. How can you verify that? Groups and the username. What is our username? Testing group. If I click enter, sorry, testing user. If you see here, our user is testing user and the testing user group is testing group. Cool. We have verified how to create. Now what we have done, we have come to know how to create a group. We have come to know how to add the user to that particular group, and we have seen how to verify the group is created or not. Okay. Now we will see how to remove the person from the group. From that, what we need to do, g password /swd and then -delete, which deletes username. What our username? Testing user. And then what our group name? Testing group. Now if I click enter, if you can see user removing from the group. Now group testing user, it will say no group name. Earlier we have seen testing group because it is added to testing group. Now we can't see any group name. Why? The user is removed from the testing. This is how we can do. Now I'll show you one more thing. I will create a user. We already have a user, correct? Yeah, we have testing user. Now if in case if you want to change the username, then you can change the username by using the below command. That you have to do user mod -l and the new username. What new username I'll do? Test2 and old username testing user. If you see, the username is changed, but if you see, it will show still it will show testing user only. Why? Because we have deleted a user, but it is still shows the old username. Why? Because we have changed the name, but we haven't changed the home directory of that name. To do that, we can change this directory, I mean the pa- home directory name, which is like as we deleted testing group user, similar way we can change this testing user name as well. For that, the command we need to use, yeah, we can use this command gettent and passwd, and the if you write testing user, it will say no user found. Now we have changed the testing username to testing. What we have changed? Testing user to test2. Now to verify if the changes are made or not, we can see all the existing username details under etc wd. You see here, we can say testing user, but the username is test2, home directory is testing user. So what I'll do, I will change this testing user to test. To do that, we have to click mv and then the directory names, like the one which we having now and the one which we want to change. Hope you are getting my point. What we have done is we have changed the login name of the user. Okay, later what we have done, we have verified if the user existing or not. Okay, now what we want to do, we want to change the directory name. We have deleted, we have changed our previous name. Now user login name, previously user login name has been changed, but now it is still showing the old username for the directory, and we want to change it to new directory. Okay, to do that we have to use command mv and the name of the, then to which name you want to test2. Now if we do ls, it will change it to test2, and if you do user details, I hope it is also get changed. Okay, it is not reflected, but the directory name has been changed. Okay, this is how we will test2. Cool. Now I will, now what you will do, we haven't created a password for this user. We will create a password for this user and then we will try to log in. Password test2. It will ask for new password. I have created a new password. Now if I search who am I, it will show me root. Now what I'll do, su-test2, this will let you log into the test user. Okay, see what it is showing. Warning, cannot change directory to no such file. Okay, just a moment. Let me see. I am test2. That's wonderful. Now let's go to cd home ls. See, it is showing guys, test2 is not available. That is why we are getting this error. Cannot change directory to home testing. No such file or directory. It is informing us. That's okay. Now we are in the test2. Now what I'll do, we have logged in. Now this is how we logged in. Okay, what we have done, we have changed a username. Okay, we have then verified if the username change occur or not. Correct. Then we have created a password for that user. Then we have changed the directory name. Our username has been, logon username has been changed, but the directory name was same, so we have changed the directory name. Later what we did, we tried to log into the newly user, after changing the name, we tried to log in, then we have verified the directories. Okay, wonderful. Now I am exiting from that user. Cool. This is how we mostly use things in the user side, user management side. I'll let you know again. We have seen how to create a user, how to set a password for the user, how to get the existing user details by using grep, how to get all the user details by verifying cat etc users. We have seen how to delete a user with their directory. We have seen how to create a group, how to add user to the group, how to verify if the user is added to the group or not. We have seen how to delete a group, how to remove a group from the, how to delete a user from the group, and later we have seen how to remove a group as well. This is what we mostly do in our day-to-day life when it comes to user management. This is okay for now. We are good if we are aware of these things. Later we'll come to know permission set. Now we look into permission set. Okay, mostly if I do ls, if you see here, we have drwx hyphen 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 and hyphens goes on. These are the permissions level. If a file start with D name, it is directory. If a file start with hyphen, which means it is a file. If you see sample.txt is a file and rocky is a directory, test2 is a directory. That is why we are seeing it as a D. Okay. Now the first letters is of RWX, which is read write executive for directory. Okay. For any file, we have read, write, executive actions, and these will be for owner, group, and others. We just take sample as reference. These having only read, write permissions for the owner. Whoever created it, he is having only read, write access. Root is created, only he has read, write access. Later, after we have R, which means group users can only have read. Later others can only have access to read. That's how it is. Now what I will do, I will change it to everything. To do that, just let me change. Later I will explain you this. ls-l, if I do C, it is a file, hyphen in the sense file, rwx, which means the owner has read, write, executable access. Then groups, if the user is added to any group or something like that, group members can also have read, write, executable access. And other people or other user can also read, write, executable into this file. That is how it is. Now what I'll show you the things which we can how we can change these details. We can change it using alphabets and numbers. You can go with any. First we will see how to do it with numbers. Read, 4 is for read, 2 is for write, 1 is for executable. If you see here, we have given 7, which means read, write, executable. This first 7 is for owner, second 7 is for groups, third 7 is for other users or other people. So 7, which means what happens? What I said, 4 will give you read access, then 2 will give you write access, 1 will give you executable access. Now 4 plus 2 plus 1, how much? 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So 7, 7, 7, which means owner, group, other users will have the read, write, executable user policies. Now what I'll do, I will change 700, which means only owner has read, write, and the rest all other has no permissions. See, no other user has permissions. Okay. Now what I'll do, I will change the permission to read. Now I'll change to only others can read. If I do ls-l, only other people can read. Now what I'll do, I will make this executable. Only other people can execute. See, X. Now what I'll do, I will change the same file users to write, and you cannot leave this as blank. Okay, it is recommended. See, everything is as changed. Now I provide 74. See, it is not supposed to do in that way. We have to provide 0. If no value is mentioned, it will go wrong. Okay, now what I'll do, User has read, here also user has read. Okay, there it is. Here owner has read, right, and group has read. Now what I'll do, I will change the group to executable. Now if I do ls -l, it will show only x, which means owner has read write executable, group has only executable, others have nothing. This is how we'll go with numbering. When it comes to alphabets, it's simple. I'll remove numbers. If you want to go with users, and if you want I mean, sorry, owner, if you want to change the permissions of the owner, and the owner, you want owner can only executable, then user plus x and the file name, it will change to executable. Okay, where our file, yeah, if you see read write and executable. Let's see in examples. chmod user plus write, what we'll do, user plus write and then sample.txt. Let's verify how it goes. Okay, just give me a moment. We'll verify what permission. Let me clear my screen, it will be easy for you. ls-l, if I do, the sample.txt has owner has read write executable, group has only executable, others has nothing. So now what I'll do, chmod root only now created, yeah, root only, user plus executable and our file name sample.txt. Now if I do ls-l, yeah, it is in executable format. Now what I'll do, I will change the permission for group. Let's see for permissions for group, G for group, and if I do ls-l, it should change. For some reason it is not changing, I'm not sure. Let's see how it goes for others. chmod others plus read and sample.txt ls-ltr. Yeah, now it's reflecting. Others have only read. Okay, now if you see group, let's change group also to read only, and we'll verify sample.txt. chmod group plus read and sample.txt ls-ltr. Let's create a new file and see. Not required. And if you want to give read write executable for each file, then you can say, you can change it to, again it will come as user, groups and others. And we can say chmod user, what we need for user, read write executable for sample.txt ls-ltr. Owner is having same. Now what I want to change, others, I want to make it change for others ls-ltr. See, others is also changed. Now if I want to make it for group, I'll just say group and same command, it will change. This is how it happens. And this is one thing which we can see. Simple. When it comes to number, if you want to give read write executable, we need to add 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is for owner, group, and the others. And this is not for one, I mean only owner. The first 3 are for owner, second 3 are for group, third 3 are for others. That's how it is. Now I want to show you one scenario regarding these permissions. Let me clear my screen first. Hope you understood how permissions work. What I'll do, we have test2 user. Now I'll go with creating a test2 1. Now if I do ls, I have test1 user. Okay, cool, great. ls hyphen ltr verify. Let me delete this sample.txt. We have only 3 things, 3 users now. All has read write executable for owner, nothing for other users. I will switch to test1. Who am I? Test1. I will create a file here, touch use.txt. Okay, if I do ls, I can see use.txt. Now I'll go to file nano use.txt. I'll add some content, editing by test1, control O, enter, control X. If I do cat and use.txt, you can see editing by test1. Okay, if I check permissions of this file, owner has read write, group has read write, others has only read. Okay, now I'll exit from this user. I will log in as test2. The same before error we are getting. That's okay. And if I do ls-l, I can see the files. I'm in users. Now if I want to go test the user test1 details, I'll get permissions errors. And if I want to see what file it has created, what our file name, use.txt, use.txt, I will get permissions errors. Okay, which means a file which is created by user1 cannot be accessed by other users, because test1 has only read write, only owner has access, and use.txt is all have owner has read write, group has read write, others has only read. Okay, you can ask me, others has only read option, but why I can't read? Now if you see here, the test1 user directory has, for others it doesn't have any, it is having for owners, so it will consider only that. Now what I'll do, I'll go back, I'll change the test1 permissions for others and will come back again. I'm exiting test2. I'll go to let me do it from here. I can't do from there. ls-l. Test1 is here. chmod others plus what we need, read we need, and write we need. And what it is, test. I entered over ls-l. If you see, others have read write. Let me go to the now ch home test1. Why I am using ch ls-l home test1. If you see, the user, we have changed user permission to, here it is, For others, read write, and file permission we have read, which means any user can read use.txt. Since I'm in root, I obviously have access. Just showing you, I can see cool. Now I will go with the test2. I mean test2. Now I'll show you if I can access the directory or not. It says permission denied, correct. Home, test1, and whatever file name use.txt. Still it says permission denied. Why? Because if you want to go into use.txt, the test1 file needs to be executable, which means the file should, the test1 user for others should have the file open options. Now I'll exit this test2 and I'll do ls-l. Now if you see, test2 has only read write, but it also need executable for others, so that the other user can executable into test.1, then he can verify. Let's change the permission, chmod others plus read write executable for test1, ls-l full. I'll switch to su-test2. Now I'm in directory. See if I can go to that or not. Test1, present working directory, test1. Who am I? Test2. If you see, test2 is the user and can go to test1. Now if you see, cat used home test2 test1 use.txt. I can see the file as well. Let me get into that file now. Okay, now if you use root obviously have access, so you may go to root user. That is why I'm not using root use.txt. See what I'm having, user is unwritable. I do not have access to write into this file. It shows me I added some content, correct? You see, it is not added because I do not have permission to write into it. If I do ls-l, we have use.txt, correct, but what permission others have? Only read. They can only read. They cannot write into that file. Now I'll do one more thing. I will exit my user2. I will ls-l. If you see, it has complete read write executable. Now I will log into test1. Now I'm in test1. If I do ls-l, for test1 we have read, for others we have only read. Now what I'll do, chmod others plus read write executable for file use.txt. Wonderful. Now you can see others have read write executable. Now if I go back, I'll exit the file and ls-l read write x. Now I'll switch to user, test2 user. Now if you see, I have read write access for test1. I'll go to test1. I'll verify the permissions. The file2 has read write. Now I'll do nano use.txt. Now I can add editing by test2 user after changing the permissions. Now I'll show you who am I. I'm user test2. Now I'll cat the use.txt. See, the third line has been added. Okay, cool. Now what I'll do, I'll exit my user and I'll explain you in short. First, we have given read access for file, but we haven't provided executable access for the test1 directory, so we were unable to get into it. Later what we did complete access for test1 user and file. Now we are able to write into the file. Now what I'll do, I will change the permissions for others to read, write, test1 ls-l. Why it is not taking for sometimes? chmod others plus read, write, test1 ls l1l. Let me go with this way. chmod 7 0 read, write, read, write, test1 ls-l. Yeah, it is changed. Read, write. Now what I'll do, I will switch back to my test2 user. See, now I won't be able to get into the directory. What it is, test2 permission denied, because I have removed executive policies. But if you see here, I will be still able to edit test1 use.txt. See, insufficient is not accessible. Why it is not accessible? Because though it has read write, it needs to go to test1 folder first, then only it can write. Hope you understood. I'll show you again. Nano test1 use.txt path home.tst1 is not accessible. It is showing clearly home.tst1 is not accessible. Now what I'll do, I'll exit my user. I'll show you the permissions. chmod others plus read, write, executable, and test1 ls-l. Now it is changed. Now I'll switch back to my test user 2. You can see who am I? Test2. Now I'll try to go to test1. Yes, I'm able to. I can see the file as well. Though file has read write executable policies permissions earlier, since the test1 is not having the executable permissions, it was showing test1 is not accessible. Now we have provided access to test1, so I should be able to make changes on this test1. If you see editing the file after providing the test1 directory permissions for other user as executable cat use.txt. See, it showed. Now I'll exit my user. I'll do same thing here. Cat home test1 then use.txt. See, we have. That's how it is. And now I will do one more thing. I'll make changes to test2 and we'll see if test1 can access or not. Now I log in as test1. Okay. For ls-l, we have only one file. Now if I do cd home test2, it says permission denied because I do not have permissions for that. Now I will exit the ls-l. Test2 only owner has permissions, other does not have. So I will log into test2 once. I will create some files, touch for.txt. So touch Thor.txt. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going with sudo. Yeah, it is showing the instance will be reported because the test2 user do not have access for running the root commands. For that, we need to add him into the root wheel permissions. I'll just add him to the root group. For that, user mod. Let me see if I can do from here. I don't think so. User mod hyphen add group. Then my group will be wheel, I believe. Wheel. And then username is test2. Okay, let's exit. I can also show you what content it has. It is here is this is the file here. In this group we are adding it. Allow people in this group wheel to run all commands. If this wheel has root or sudo something like, then you have to change the let me add, it will be user mod hyphen add group, then group name, my group name is wheel and my username is test2. If your group name is root or sudo, then you have to provide in place of wheel root or sudo. Cool. Now I will be sudo hyphen test2 touch thaw.txt sudo touch thaw.txt 1 2 yeah. Let's now thaw.txt has been created, but it is created outside. Let me go to cd home test2. If I do ls, nothing is there now. Touch lion.txt. If I do ls, lion might has created now. Nano lion.txt. I'll adding lines from user to login. If you're not aware of using nano or something like, we explained it in our previous sessions, how to use nano and how to use vim and what the commands we can run, all those things you can refer to our previous video in our session 2 or 3 I believe. Now we have nano. Yeah, if you see, others have only read permissions. Now what I'll do, I'll exit test2. I'll go back to test1. I'll see if I can access this or not. Test2, if I access, permission denied. And if I try to access login.txt, it says permission denied. This is expected because the file has only read permission, not executable. Now I'll exit this test2. I'll log into test2. I'll do ls. I'll go to our path where the file is located. Home test2 ls-l ls-l test2 we have. Now for test2 I will change it to chmod. Yeah, completely I want to give executable access 777 login.txt ls-l. It has everything, others group and everyone can read, write, execute. I'll exit my file. I log in back with the test1. If I try to go to this test2 and login.txt, can you guess if I accessible it is accessible or not? No, it is not, because we provided permissions for only file, not to the test2 user. Everyone can get into it, correct? Let me try to add content. Home test2 then php. See, path home test2 is not accessible, which means it is trying to go to test2 first before going to login.txt, because login.txt is in test2 file. If I cannot access test2 file, then I won't be able to reach login.txt. Now what I'll do, I will exit this user. I'll log in back with my test2 user. Now I'll use let me show you the permissions. Yeah, it's correct. Test1. I'll go to my home, test2 and login.cd. I can just ls-l login.txt. Okay, you can see correct, everything has. Now I exit this ls-l. If you see, the test2 does not have any for others. I'll change chmod others place read write executable test2 ls-l. Now others can read write executable into the file. Now I'll switch to test1. Now I'll show you test2. See, I am able to get into test2. I can see the file as well. Now I'll try to get the file, adding the lines after giving the permissions and changing the permission for test2 read write executable. Then we are able to write into this login.txt file. Control. If I verify cat login.txt, yeah, the line is added. And who am I? who? I am test1. Okay. Okay, let me go to test2 and show you test2. Don't mind, I have some cough. cd1 test2 ls, we have login cat. See, the third line is added. This is how we use permissions in Linux for folders and for users. And I have provided all the information repo in the repo hub, in our GitHub repo. You can give a try. And the best practice is try in multiple ways. Try in multiple ways for changing the permissions and play with those things, and with the user as well. So in our class, we have learned how to create a user, how to change a password for the user, how to delete a user, how to delete a user with the directory, how to add a group, how to add user into that group, how to remove a user from the group, how to remove a group, how to verify if the user is added to that group or not. And we have seen how to we have seen whether is the user is added or not. We have seen how to change the password for user management. And when it comes to permission management, we have seen how to create a users, how to change the permission for user 1 and try to access it from user 2, and the permissions which changed is for other users. And when we are unable to log into the file and getting errors with the sudo, we have added the user to the wheel, sudo ers folder. We have come to know how to give user the root permissions. Whenever it is needed, he can execute the commands with root permissions. And then we have seen permissions for folder and permission for files. Group as well. I didn't play with group because I didn't create any users to the group or something like. But in your case, you can give a try. You can give a try for the group as well. Simple. Just create a group, add multiple users into that group, change the permission to the group, and try to access files, change, create a group, add users into that group, change permission to the group, try to add the files which are created from user 1 by user you logging into user 2, and see what you get and how you can execute those commands, all those things. This is the thing, and hope you enjoyed the video. And these are the things which are most used in Linux environment. And apart from this, you do have some commands, but this is fine, you can play with these things, and this is more than basic knowledge. Thanks for watching, and if you feel this video is useful to you, I request you to like, share, subscribe, and share it with your friends so that they can also get to know how to play with file permissions, and get to know how to enjoy working with Linux in Linux environment. And after the Linux sessions, I will be thinking to go with Git, GitHub, Git repos, all those things. So don't miss these things. Share it with your friends and your family members who are interested in DevOps course, or who are interested in learning Linux courses. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye. And one more thing, I'll be on out of station for coming 3 to 5 days. So the rest of the 2 videos, which are, I mean, 2 sessions, which are we done with introduction to Linux, Linux file system, navigation, file data management, user permission management, we done today, and process package and network log, system info. We will see once I'm back from the we will see these 2 things after when I'm returned. Or we can also, if possible, I'll try to prepare some videos and upload. If not, we'll plan them out once I'm done. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.